soon. It's still going, still setting up. There we go. We are live.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna switch to this window. Okay, so welcome to today's show, everyone. I'm gonna just kind of what's it called, vamp for a bit, because people are watching an ad right now, so we have to wait till they get through the ad. But if you can hear me and you're in chat, let us know who you are, where you're watching from. My name's Carrie L. Next to me is Bree. You can't see one of our lawyers. They're going to appear later. Yeah, yay! Haroon is watching. Cool. Hi, Haroon. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, we're just going to hang out for a little bit. We are mostly improvisers. We're all in Austin, and most of us improvise through the Hideout Theater, among other theaters. There's plenty of great theaters here in town. We are just having fun doing some virtual improv while we sort out all this quarantine shit. Oh, I should close my window so there's no noise from outside. I'm right next to my window. All right. Is anyone else in chat? If you're in chat, say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. Maybe there's only Haroon in chat right now. Oh, it's just Haroon and Lisa right now in chat. So we're going to hang out for a couple minutes and let more people hopefully join us. Bree, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. I was thinking about opening the chat myself to peek in.
Cool. Yeah, all right. Oh, look, stream mail once. It's now streaming live. The Trial of Tubby Tomato. Yeah, so what you're about to watch is a courtroom drama featuring fruits and vegetables. It's going to be pretty fucking cute. That's why I want to give some people time to get in here. Hopefully more people join. Hopefully we'll get more of an audience soon. We've been averaging a pretty decent audience for most of these shows, usually like in the teens to the 20s. So it's a pretty solid crowd for a virtual improv show. So hopefully we'll get a few more people in here soon. Bree, what's been the highlight of your week? Other than this, of course.
What day is it? Oh my God.
It's Wednesday.
Okay. So it's going to be this. Someone asked me to be in the show. Yeah, other than that, haven't really been doing a lot.
All right. Well, Haroon, since you're here, and anyone else who joins us, if you can hear my voice, just chirp up in chat. Haroon, one of the things we'll need to get started is what crime is Tubby the Tomato being charged with? That is going to be the suggestion for our show. So we need to know what crime we are putting them on trial for. So if you have any ideas about a crime that Tubby the Tomato might have committed, please type them in chat because that will inspire our show. I'm trying to think of what crimes a tomato would want to commit. And I can think of a lot of potential crimes. Side note about tomatoes. So when I was a kid, I remember I was like, I don't know, early grade school. I'm going to probably say like third grade, but it could have been like fifth grade because I was a wimp. But I went to a birthday party of a friend of mine, and they thought it would be a hilarious idea, like to do a movie at this birthday party that we'd all watch together, among other activities. But the movie they chose was the 1980s B movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Which is ridiculous. If you've ever seen it, it's a ridiculous movie. It's Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. But I was terrified of it and I couldn't watch it. And I think I might have even called my parents to have me picked up from the party.
Oh, no.
I can't remember for sure. I either did that or it was like I went outside to play during the movie because I was too scared to watch the movie. I'm still very wimpy about horror movies, but I'm tougher than I used to be because that was yay, Jimmy's Family. So if you're in chat, what we're waiting for is to get the show started is we need a suggestion for a crime that Tubby the Tomato committed that we are putting them on trial for. So if you have any suggestions about a crime that a tomato would want to commit, please type them in chat. and we will use your suggestions to inspire our show. Turning someone into tomato sauce. Cool. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I like that. We might work with that one, but I like options. I'm one of those options guys. So give me some more options. I know Jimmy's family is very creative, so I'm counting on you guys to give me at least a couple more ideas. And Haroon, I'm expecting you to chirp up with some ideas about crimes. Anyone else who's in chat too. Scaring people. Serial killer of potatoes. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to take that one. He's been killing potatoes, or they've been killing potatoes, which is interesting because I happen to know that the defense lawyer is a potato. Yeah, cool. All right, we're going to take that one. All right, so the serial killer of potatoes, or throwing itself at performers during a show. Wait, I kind of like that one too. Wow. What do you think, Bree? You decide.
That's a really tough one.
I kind of like that one because there's a meta element to it too. The throwing. I'm rethinking. I think that throwing themselves at performers during a show is the crime they're guilty of. Do you feel okay about that?
Yeah.
No? Okay. All right, we're gonna go with that. All right, so we are gonna start the trial in moments.
Welcome to the Honorable Judge's courtroom, where the cases are real and the decisions are final. Now remember, before we begin, it is up to the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Tubby Tomato is in fact a thrower of self. If he does not prove beyond a reasonable doubt, we must acquit him. Now, do you have your opening statements prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Mr. Brown, presumably you will want to go first.
I would be honored, Your Honor. Thank you very much. And you are looking scrumptious today, Your Honor.
Objection.
Withdrawn.
We have not started.
Buttering the judge.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, Your Honor. I intend to prove in this court of law that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Tubby Tomato is innocent of the crime they've been accused of. And I have a series of witnesses that I plan to call to prove this case, but I also have the evidence that is right before our eyes. We can see Tubby Tomato is ripe and round and juicy. And if they had thrown themselves at anyone, they would be a burst balloon of pulp and juice. So I think the evidence by itself speaks for itself as to their innocence. And but if that doesn't convince you, I have plenty of witnesses to prove my case. The defense for the moment rests.
Your Honor, I would like to take this time to say, yes, everybody knows what a tomato is for. Everybody knows it's not for juice. It's not for ketchup. And it's not for looking at. It has one purpose, Your Honor, and one purpose only, and that is for throwing. And everyone knows, yes, that a tomato lives to be thrown. And if Tubby Tomato resisted his own throwing, then I will show the court that he is not a tomato at all.
Well, that would certainly be an interesting twist.
Hub, 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 hub.
That's the rabble, I guess.
Yes.
Your Honor,
No
traditionally,
disturbances in my courtroom. Now, I've heard your opening statements, and both are very compelling, but without the evidence, we can make no decision here today. So let's get started.
Your Honor, I would like to call a witness to the stand, if it please you.
It pleased me so.
Thank you, Your Chocolatiness. I would like to call Bailiff Muffin Top to the stand. Bailiff Muffin Top, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm as well as can be expected. I am just a humble lawyer, a man of the people, and I'm here to defend someone who's quite innocent, and I'm hoping you will help me in that pursuit. But you remember that while you're on the stand, you can only speak the truth, correct?
Of course.
All right. Bailiff Muffin Top, where were you on the night in question, which was Sunday night at the Hideout Theater?
Well, I was at the Hideout Theater. In fact, I was down in the coffee house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do pull some extra shifts as a security guard. I was grabbing a coffee real quick.
Right. And you were able to catch up at least part of the show at which Tubby was accused of throwing themselves at the performers, correct?
Okay, I admit it. I took a longer break than I was supposed to. Yeah, I went to the show.
Well, it's very understandable that improv is very hard to resist. It's so funny. Now, Bailiff Muffin Top, did you witness anything being thrown at the performers, tomato or otherwise?
You know, I gotta say, I did see some throwing of bodies around. I can't say it was a tomato though. It might have been a beet.
Right. Or an apple. It could have been anything round and red, correct?
It was pretty dim in there, they had the lights real low.
Right.
That is a load of shiitake.
Your Honor, objection.
Language in my courtroom.
Objection. Wait, I'm not.
Thank you, Bailiff Muffin Top. So what, if you could characterize the sound those objects made when they hit the performers, what sound did it sound like to you? Can you make the sound as best you can, please?
It was, yeah, I think a bing, just like that.
Right. It sounded like something hard hitting the performers, and as we all saw earlier when Tubby was on the stand, they are not hard or firm at all. They are quite squishy and plump. So I contend that sound could not have been made by a tomato hitting a performer. The defense rests. The witness is yours, prosecution, Ms. Avocado.
Let me see. Answer me this. Do you have ears?
Hey, it's very rude to mention that.
I am asking one question and one question only. Do you or do you not have ears?
I lost my ears in an accident a long time ago. I have no ears. I don't.
Aha. Therefore, Mr. Muffin Top could not have heard anything hit anyone, squishy or not. I rest my case guilty as charged.
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. This witness is dismissed. He is not a wood ear mushroom. Ha ha! You see? Not a wood ear mushroom. Therefore, he has nothing to do with me or this case. Your Honor, I ask that he be dismissed so I may call my next witness.
Well, Mr. Brown, do you have any other questions for Ms. Tapp? Is that a no?
Mr.
Oh,
Ashman?
me, I'm Mr. Brown. I was a little shaken, Your Honor. May I approach the bench?
Yes, you may.
Your Honor, as someone who also doesn't possess ears, I found that line of questioning very triggering. I have an abundance of eyes, but only no ears.
Well, I totally understand. It's an important line of questioning, however, because it is relevant to the case.
Yes, Your Honor. The
Yes, Your
honor is honorable.
Bailiff Muffintop, one final question.
Sure.
Where did you get your hat?
Oh, thank you so much. I got it at the Banana Republic.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Bailiff Muffintop. Your service is appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Ms. Avocado, you're calling a witness next?
Yes. I am calling Miss Penny Loafer to the stand.
Hello? Oh my God, is this being filmed? Let me put on some lipstick.
Miss Penny Loafer, you are crusty and now smoothed. Very nice.
Is that
Miss
right?
Penny Loafer, may I be so kind, or may I be so forward as to ask you this? Could you tell the court what type of bread you are?
I am 100% whole wheat.
Yes, whole. That is what I am asking. Are you whole of mind? Would you say you were?
Yes, I am wholesome. I am whole of mind.
That's right. That's right.
I'm very tasty.
And do you consider yourself a truth-telling, holistic piece of bread?
Have you ever heard of someone being wholesome and not telling the truth?
I would like to put on the record that this is a truthful piece of bread and thus would rise to the occasion of showing the court that this tomato is guilty. Yes or no?
Miss Caro, I hate to interrupt you, but
Hmm?
you don't have to say that. Everything automatically goes on the record here.
Oh, yes. Miss Penny Loafer, may I ask you, in the night in question, were you sitting close to the stage?
Yes, totally. I'm always in the front row.
That's right. And that is because what is your relationship with Mr. Tomato?
Well, as you can imagine, a slice of bread and a tomato can get very close at times.
Yes. Maybe sandwich close?
Objection, Your Honor. Objection. Asking about the personal life of a witness is not admissible in a court of law.
Absolutely not. This is what my whole thing hinges on.
Well, I would definitely argue that their relationship is definitely relevant here.
Yes. Miss
Objection
Loafer,
withdrawn.
would you say that you and Mr. Tomato have had sandwich?
Should I answer this?
It's totally irrelevant, but I'm really curious.
Yes. Answer the question, please.
There have been some seeds on my buns.
Yeah. Yes. And were you planning to have seed buns that evening?
I mean, it kind of depended on how much wine I had.
That's right. And so you were getting maybe angry or anxious at whether or not you would have seed buns?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
And could you say that maybe so anxious as to be throwing the Mr. Tomato?
Oh, no, never.
Objection, Your Honor. Penny Loafer is not on trial here.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I would agree. Objection sustained.
Maybe Mr. Tomato, I would assume, was so angry that maybe he would not be the one to seed your buns, that he threw himself away towards the performers?
He would never throw himself at anyone except for me, okay?
Good prosecution rests.
Now, Ms. Loafer, may I call you Penny?
Yes,
We're both starches, so we can speak frankly to one another, correct?
I guess.
Now, Ms. Loafer, where were you the night before the incident on Saturday night?
Saturday night, we were watching a performance of hot cross buns.
Wow. And who were you with? Because I have it on good authority that Tubby Tomato was not with you that night because a witness saw him shopping for groceries at the HEB. So who is the we you were referring to watching the performance on Saturday night?
I was with my friend, Muffin Bottom.
Oh, all right. Do you mean Bailiff Muffin Top?
No.
Objection. If the bread in question doesn't know where they were, how can they remember what happened that night?
Your Honor, bear with me. This line of questioning will lead somewhere, I assure you.
But that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I would argue that you're making a case against yourself now, Miss Kadu.
Can I be honest here?
You should be the entire time you're sitting there.
Yes, you're under oath.
Okay, I am, but I just want to say, like, I was half-baked.
Mm-hmm. And who were you half-baked with? It was definitely not Tubby Tomato. So I would suggest that perhaps you are not as devoted to Tubby Tomato as you first implied.
Oh.
Now, can a piece of bread that is making sandwiches, multiple sandwiches, might I add, and I'm not trying to slut shame her, don't get me wrong, but someone who's making multiple sandwiches with multiple people can't be expected to keep track of who they're making a sandwich with when. That's a lot to keep track of. And I think it's clear that Penny Loafer is having trouble keeping track of who she's sandwiching when. So,
excuse me, if you're trying to suggest that I get my bread soggy like that, no.
Oh no, your bread looks very, very dry. Not too dry, just dry enough. But I don't think there's been a tomato touching that bread anytime in recent history.
No.
Audience members, there's an uproar.
Okay, quiet in this courtroom, please.
So I propose, Your Honor, that we throw out this witness's entire testimony as an unreliable testimony that we cannot count on for anything.
Oh.
Agreed.
Very well. If you both agree, then we will throw her on out.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Loafer, I suggest you go find yourself some jam. My next witness is the gorgeous and very honest. She's, wait for it, her name is the one, the only, Pumpkin Bean Juice.
Oh.
Ew.
Okay.
Hi.
It's refreshing to see you as always, Pumpkin Bean Juice.
Oh,
May I
yes.
call you Pumpkin?
Yes. Honey, you know I like that better. Judge, it's good to see you. Looks like you're having more chips on you this time than the last time I saw you.
That's enough.
Better looking with each day.
Pumpkin.
Yes, Mr. Brown, Mr. Hash.
Everyone in this whole town knows that you are steaming hot, very popular, and very rich. Are those statements all fair?
Fair. I'd say it's unfair to say that they're not true.
Right. I think our eyes are testimony enough to all the truth of what I just said. Now, Ms. Bean Juice, you are a regular at the Hideout Coffee House. Is that correct?
Of course, regular. I would say, besides the improvisers, I am the star of the show.
Right.
I mean, what better to go with your show than a nice cup of coffee?
I mean, it's everyone who goes in there knows your name. You are just. I see you making polite small talk with many people there, and in fact, many witnesses said that you too were at the show where Tubby Tomato was accused of throwing themselves at the performers. Is that correct?
Oh, of course I was at that show. I was, of course, in the front row, and not like that penny loaf because I like Tubby Tomato or anything. I was there because, again, I am the star. Mr. Hash.
Mr. Brown, just call me Hash.
Honey.
Call me Hash. I'm just a humble potato.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say that Tubby Tomato indeed did throw himself at those people.
Your Honor, permission to treat the witnesses hostile?
What? No, this witness has all the beans she needs.
Your Honor?
Yes, this is a surprising turn of events. Do you perhaps have any other questions for this?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I am treating the witnesses hostile. Pumpkin, Ms. Bean Juice.
Mr. Hash, yes.
What prescription contact lenses are you wearing right now?
Irrelevant.
Answer the question, Miss Juice.
I may wear very strong prescription contact lenses.
In fact, I have your prescription right here that I...
Okay, it's -5. It's -5 in both eyes, okay? But I had to because I spent too much time looking at myself and my neon lights in my mirror, and it hurt my corneas.
For those of us with perfect vision, can you explain what -5 might mean?
Right, I forget. You're less educated than I, Chip. -5 is very, very bad. Mm-hmm. It's closer to legally blind than not, some might say. But I have prescription lenses that make my vision perfect. They make my vision as good, if not better than yours, Chip.
But Ms. Bean Juice, you weren't wearing your contacts that night, were you? A witness saw you wearing glasses in the bathroom earlier to apply your makeup. There was another reason you were sitting in the front row.
Don't you bring up my glasses, Hash. Don't bring up my glasses.
You couldn't see the performers without your contacts. And thus, let me ask you another question, Ms. Bean Juice.
Wow.
Without your contacts in, if I held up an apple and a tomato next to each other, could you tell the difference between the two?
Could you?
There we go. There's my mouth. Well, if I'm being completely honest, by sight, no. But by smell, yes. When my vision goes down, my smell goes up, and I could smell it. I know a tomato for miles with these nostrils.
There's no question that Tubby Tomato was in that room. The question is whether he threw himself at the performers or not. So smelling a tomato is not sufficient evidence to convict. I propose that you simply smelled his presence in the room while an apple was thrown or some other round red object was thrown at the performers in place of Tubby Tomato throwing their own body at the performers.
Permission to ask Hash a question, Miss Bree, Chip?
Objection, Your Honor. The witness cannot ask a lawyer a question.
Oh, you're hardly a lawyer.
Oh, quiet in the courtroom. This is enough. No, you may not ask another question.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution have any questions?
The prosecution rests. Obviously, this witness has all of her beans, all of her eyesight, and knows exactly what happened on the night in.
That's right. That's right.
Very
Thank you,
good.
Miss Bean Juice. We'll see you next time.
Yes, you will.
Ms. Avocado, your witness.
Thank you very much. The prosecution calls Penelope Applebottom.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here.
Penelope, we're glad to have you. Yes, 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 shake it. Shake it now, for you'll be shaking it later.
Is this part of your plan?
Oh, sorry. Yes. I have a question for you. Miss Applebottom, you work at the coffee house. Is that so?
I sure do. I can flip you up a latte, and at the same time I can flip you up a glass of wine. I can serve you a panini.
That's wonderful. And so you see all of the fruits and vegetables who walk in and out of the theater and coffee house. Is that true?
Of course I do. And I have a memory like an elephant. I can remember everyone that comes through.
Perfect. Do you remember a certain tomato in question coming through that night?
Oh, yes, I do. Because he came up and ordered a mocha with oat milk in it. And I was like, that's really strange. He's never ordered that before. Usually he gets a black coffee house blend. But he came and got this latte and then did not even tip.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance?
Yes, the line of questioning is relevant to the prosecution and the sentencing of this tomato.
Then make your point clear, Miss Cotto.
Listen, you have a mind like an elephant, Miss Applebottom. You remember every single person's and vegetables and fruits order. Why was it strange to you that night that Tomato ordered something different? What was his mood? Can you recall?
Oh, his mood was rambunctious.
Yes.
He seemed to hate the world that night.
Yes, that's right. And was there a particular time that you could hear the crowd from the coffee bar after he went into the show?
Yes. It was about 18.3 minutes into the show.
That's right. At 18.3 minutes is when the recorded time that there was a loud hustle, bustle, a hubbub, if you will, screams. What do you propose happened to make those people scream?
What do I propose?
Yes.
Well, clearly Mr. Tomato went not so insane. He's like a sociopath that night and did something. I mean, I couldn't see because I was down at the coffee counter, but I can only guess that he must have thrown himself like a bowling ball right into all those people.
That's right. And your guess is as good as mine. The prosecution rests.
Ms. Applebottom.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, what precisely is the nature of your relationship to Tubby Tomato? Because rumor has it, and I don't ascribe to rumor, but I have to acknowledge that it exists. Rumor has it that there's more to your relationship than just barista customer.
Okay, all right. Well, if you must know, we have a past. Tubby and I and a slice of ham had a roll in the pizza dough one time. Okay.
Right. Except it was more than one time, wasn't it? In fact,
Irrelevant. What is the line of questioning leading to? Why is Mr. Brown badgering my witness?
I would
Excuse
like.
me, Moscato. I will make the decisions as to what constitutes badgering and what does not. And I have not seen any badgering that I can see.
I have receipts here dating back 4.5 months of dinners and, yes, pizza nights that Penelope Applebottom spent with Tubby Tomato. In fact, they dated for several months, and it did not end well, did it, Ms. Applebottom?
Well, okay, you know what? When someone dates you for several months, they shouldn't break up with you in a text message.
Right.
I
have that.
emoji.
I have that text message here.
Oh,
It says, dear Penelope, you are sweet, but you're also, you make my lips hurt. And it's not going to work out between us.
Okay. Someone give Miss Applebottom a tissue, please.
I'm sorry to put you through this, Penelope Applebottom, but Your Honor, it's important to know that that this witness still has strong feelings for Tubby Tomato, and they're not exactly positive. So, Penelope, in fact, you would do anything to get back at Tubby for the cruel hurt he inflicted upon you. Is that correct?
I don't know.
I have here a text from you to a friend of yours that says, I would do anything to get back at Tubby Tomato for the cruel hurt he inflicted upon me.
Oh,
Okay, so you got me. Yeah, okay, fine.
The defense rests.
the prosecution calls another witness. The most important witness there is.
Yes.
Oh, we call Richard Rick McRickle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. How are things going?
Your Honor, sidebar.
Yes. What is it? What is it?
I thought he was in prison for life. They let him out of
No.
prison for this?
What was he in prison for? I don't remember.
For splashing people with pickle juice. It's very strong smelling.
That is not a case I presided over, luckily.
And therefore, we shall continue with the questioning.
Yes, please continue.
Now, the most important question. Mr. McRickle,
Yes, ma'am.
were you on stage the night in question?
I was there performing, and I clearly saw one of the tomatoes jump up on stage and assault my fellow performer.
That's right. What was the joke that you were telling in that moment? Tell the court, please.
Sure, it's a classic dad joke. It was, what did the father tomato say to the baby tomato when he stomped him? He said, "Catch up."
That's
Quiet in the courtroom.
now.
Objection, Your Honor.
Terrible joke. Yes. What are you objecting to?
Terrible humor has no place in the courtroom.
That's right. And my point exactly. Did you feel that maybe that joke might have been off color for a certain tomato in the audience that night?
Well, there were several tomatoes in the audience that night. I didn't think it was going to be a big problem for, it just seemed to me as though it was okay to make a very commonly known, unoffensive joke about the killing of tomato children as humor.
Now,
I didn't see the problem.
Mr. Rickle, you have been known to be wrong when it comes to appropriate jokes.
I have never been accused of such a thing.
Splashing pickle juice on audience members? Have you not?
Now, I paid my debt to society
That's right.
for what I was alleged to have done. And
Now, Mr. Pickle, we're not here to re-prosecute you. We're not here to put you back in jail.
I don't think you're here to prosecute him at all.
That's right.
If I may.
The prosecution is only here to allow the courtroom to understand that Mr. McRickle has offended audiences before, and in this particular case, offended a hyped up, caffeinated tomato who is here in the courtroom. So enraged was he that he threw himself at the actors.
Just to be clear, I didn't say I knew it was this particular tomato. There were many tomatoes in the audience that night.
Mr. Rickle, you said that there were baby tomatoes in the audience, yes?
Oh yeah, there are tons of tomatoes. The whole thing was full of tomatoes. I mean, there was probably like 25 tomatoes in the audience. I couldn't have told one from the other with the lights in my eyes.
But only one, because I have the receipts right here. Only one ordered black coffee, the very thing that will spin a tomato into madness.
Well, I'll take your word for it, Your Honorship, a prosecutorial lady.
Yes, good. This prosecution rests.
Mr. McRickle,
Yes.
Your Honor, before I begin my line of questioning, I think I need to clarify to the court that Mr. McRickle and I have a pre-existing relationship. I actually represented him on his last case, and unfortunately, I did lose that case, and he was sent to jail for a time at which he has apparently now been released from.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't hold any hard feelings. I was able to stew in there for a little bit. It was fine. No problem.
Okay. Mr. McRickle, you are known for a couple things in the public eye. You are known for, of course, your particular brand of humor, and also for your terrible temper.
Yes.
So, is it possible that? Your Honor, sidebar.
Go on and ask the questions.
Yes, do.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to seize this line of questioning. I fear for my life.
He hasn't said anything. He said it was okay.
No, but you don't know him. You don't know him. He could lose his stack at any second.
He looks completely harmless to me.
He looks that way. That's why he's so dangerous. Please, Your Honor, I'm just going to have to. The defense releases the witness. No further questions.
This is unkosher.
Yes.
You're free to go, Mr. McRickles. Thank you for your time.
Okay, well, if you guys have any more questions about why I didn't think it was him, just let me know. Thanks.
Your Honor, next I would like to just request a short recess to consult with my client, Tubby Tomato.
Very good.
Tubby, it's not going well. I'm so sorry. This Ms. Avocado is serious business. I went up against her back when she was at Harvard. She's never lost a case. I'm really scared, Tubby.
She's really hammering down with all those questions.
Do you have any witnesses I could still call up that might help our case?
Well, Bacon and I used to be pretty good pals back in the day, but I sort of lost touch with them, in the last few months.
Slice Porkman?
Yeah, him. Yeah, we used to be real close, but
He's brilliant. His celebrity status could be the linchpin we need to win this case.
Yeah, he always believed in me. He always did. So.
All right. Thank you, Tubby. All right. They're calling
court
back into session.
I love you.
That recess was short and sweet. I am ready to hear the rest of your arguments.
Your Honor, I would like to call a surprise witness to the stand, the Slice Porkman.
What?
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Slice
boy.
Porkman is not able to be at the court today, apparently. He might be calling in.
Yeah. Sorry, technology these days, huh? Am I right?
Oh, well, his celebrity status isn't going to get me quite the gumption I was hoping for, but...
Well, it shouldn't be his celebrity status that gets you any gumption. It should be your argument. So let's hear from Mr. Porkman, regardless of where he is today.
Slice Porkman, even though the jury and the court can't see you at the moment,
Yes.
can you describe yourself to us? Everyone's familiar with your fame. Can you describe who you are and exactly why you're famous?
Of course. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it in and then I had to do a voice conference. There's some wild things happening on the outside, if you understand. Oh, by the way, Tomato, so nice to hear from you again. How are you?
Okay, this is not a catch-up call.
Oh, but I haven't spoken to her in a long time and I'm a very important person.
Objection.
Did someone say ketchup call?
Oh,
Hi.
Tomato.
Please,
Hi.
Can we just have like 10 seconds, please?
Your Honor.
yes,
Please.
Judge, please. We haven't seen each other in
Please.
10 years.
this is not what this is for. You
I'll
can
Venmo you.
Skype later.
I'll Venmo you. Don't worry.
Yes, Venmo her.
Hi.
No, you judge. I'm Venmoing you, Judge. That's
Oh,
not
no.
a bribe.
No,
It's a donation.
It's seriously not going to happen.
Okay. All right.
Miss Tomato, please sit down.
Oh, okay. Bye. Bye.
Good to
Slice,
see
I
you,
love
Tomato.
you.
Anyways, I am Slice Porkman J, and I'm well known for my slices of pork off of my father's back. That's me. I was born from it. A little cloth of sweet little salty meat. And now look at me, I'm a big slab of life, full of it. I sing songs. I act in soap operas. I donate to the rich and the poor, because I believe in equality.
Mr.
So-
Porkman,
sorry.
for the relevance of the court, can you name your last 3 movies?
Yes, of course. My first movie, starring George Edison and myself, Slice Bacon Pan. That used to be my old stage name. We were actually starring in a movie called Basketball, Basketball, Basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And
Any
I
other
played...
2?
Oh, the other 2. You don't want to hear how I what I played as? Okay, understood. I know I speak too much. I am not usually around such beautiful people. Second movie, Titanic #2. But this time, the Titanic survived, as you could tell. Number 3 was Star Wars, Pork Wars, the Star Wars pan. Thank you.
And all those movies did rather well in the box office, did they not, Slice Porkman?
Absolutely.
As you can see, Your Honor, Slice Porkman is a bona fide celebrity. He is very rich and very well liked, and he has a relationship with Tubby. Is it fair to say that you have a relationship with Tubby, Slice?
Yes.
May I call you Slice?
Absolutely.
Great.
Yes, our relationship actually goes far back beyond this incident, this betrayal, this abortion of justice that is happening right amongst our eyes. Yes.
Nothing has even happened yet.
But the accusatory actions of this court are absolutely, phenomenally terrible amongst such a beautiful person as Tomato.
If Slice Porkman says it, it's got to be true because
It's true. Wink.
So I will take this testimony to indicate that this whole trial has been a miscarriage of justice. It's taken someone who is very dear to the famous and celebrated Slice Porkman and putting them through, dare I say it, the tomato slicer. And that is not fair to anyone, least of all, the famous, well-loved Slice Porkman himself. So I propose on that basis that we acquit Tubby of all charges so that she can go and be with Slice Porkman, the famous and celebrated celebrity.
Yes.
Oh,
And very, 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 very honest.
Okay, so what you are
The defense
saying right now is that because Mr. Porkman is a famous person,
And well loved by the public.
I don't even own a TV.
the honorable judge is speaking truth and knowledge. Go on, judge.
Oh, I'm so glad that I have your permission, Miss Kadu.
Oh, snap.
Were there any other questions for Mr. Porkman?
Oh, no, the defense rests. Your witness, Ms. Kadu.
Thank you for letting me say my say.
Mr. Porkman,
Yes, Miss Avocado.
are you in love with the tomato?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance?
Well, Mr. Brown, it is the same relevance that we had with the Mrs. Applebottom. Miss Applebottom hated tomato, but Mr. Porkman loves her, him, them, and would do anything to see them succeed. Is that not right, Mr. Porkman?
I guess perhaps I'm under law right now.
Mm-hmm.
But this does not mean any type of accusatory life for my my heart.
Judge?
Yeah.
Or life for your heart. Okay.
Yes.
Judge,
Ms. Kadu?
I ask the court to dismiss this witness. The witness is obviously in love and cannot make a fair decision or account of the night in question.
I will not be dismissing the witness, but if you have no further question, we can let him get back to whatever he was doing before he phoned in.
No further
Probably
questions,
being
Your Honor.
famous and popular and well loved.
Yes, I would love to get back in my Ferrari rather than in love with Mrs. Tomato. Oh,
Aha!
Your Honor, no further witnesses from the defense.
No further witnesses.
vroom, vroom. Bye, guys, everyone. I love you all.
Okay, very well. It seems that we have heard all of the statements, and therefore it is time to make a decision. Before, I would like to hear your closing arguments.
You first, Miss Kadu.
It is obvious to me and to the court, who are a very intelligent court, that a tomato, hyped, treacherously hyped on caffeine, whether or not beloved by anyone, heard a joke the night in question that offended him to his rotten tomato core. Thus, upon the hearing, threw himself at the actors, and then had the audacity to not admit it. Here in this country and world, we are people, fruit, vegetables of truth and justice. Put this tomato behind bars.
Thank you.
Well, Your Honor, as everyone knows, I'm just a humble tomato. I don't come from such humble potato.
Your closing statements are over, Miss Kadu.
Sorry, I misspoke. I'm a humble potato, and I don't come from such lofty background as Miss Kadu, who, as everyone knows, is very rich. I only speak the truth as I see it. Now, what do we know? What do we really know? It was a dark theater. There were plenty of tomatoes there. And yes, was an object thrown at the performers? Yes, there was. But was it round and red? Yes, it was. But do we know that it was Tubby Tomato without a shadow of a doubt? I don't think so. There were also apples in the room. I heard tell there was a pomegranate, and it could have been any of those things, or it could have been one of the other tomatoes besides Tubby. Now, to complete my arguments, I ask you this: would a celebrity as renowned, as well-loved as Slice Porkman be in love with a tomato who would be so low as to throw themselves at a performer in a crowded theater? I say no. On that, I urge you to acquit my client of all charges. Thank you, Your Honor.
Very well. I have come to my decision. Tubby Tomato, please. Thank you. Now,
I would like to request that all the other witnesses come back to see your final judgment, Your Honor.
yes. Is everyone present? Now, Mr. Brown, you have made a lot of arguments tonight, none of which were very good or compelling. Miss
That hurts my
Tomato,
feelings, Your Honor.
it's my turn to speak now.
It's my turn to cry.
Now, Miss Tomato, I think we can all say with some amount of confidence that perhaps you should lay off some caffeine in the future, as it is not very good for your health. And as for your relationship with Mr. Porkman, perhaps you guys should hook up on Facebook or something. It seems that a long time has passed between you guys having any kind of connection. And that is just silly in this day and age.
I agree.
That said, I have seen no evidence whatsoever that Tubby Tomato threw himself on the stage the night that he is accused of doing so.
Oh,
Yeah.
I find the defendant innocent,
God.
free to go.
Oh,
Yes, in your face, avocado.
Suckle nut, Cotto.
No.
Ooh.
Therefore,
This is an atrocity of justice.
oh, Miss Applebottom, do you have something to say? Now would be the time.
Tubby,
Oh.
come back to me, Tubby. Tubby, come back to me.
All right, we let her in the court. Okay. Hi, Penelope.
It's a very sad situation. You should not break up with people over text.
Well, I was busy. I was going to movie premieres with Pork. So.
This is just an aside, but you really should learn to be a better tomato.
Okay.
I
No
can
more
help you
throwing
with
myself
that.
on the stage. I mean,
I've learned a lot in my time in prison. I can help you with anything you need to do to become a better person over time and learn to forgive those that have wronged you.
That
May
sounds like
I say, this is the pits.
very good.
Is court adjourned?
Court is adjourned.
Tubby Tomato!
how?
Slice Porkman himself.
It's Porkman.
I'm so sorry I couldn't be here for your trial, but
You knew I was going to be innocent, so you came to walk me out.
I got in my Ferrari, my babe. Now, marry me. May we have slices of bread, children, mayonnaise, lettuce, and you and I to make a perfect BLT.
Of course.
My dream come true.
It's a nightmare.
It's so good to see you again.
I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Terrible.
Yes.
And see. Thus concludes the story and the trial, the very accurate and honest trial of Tubby Tomato. It was great fun doing that with everyone. We're going to hang out with people in chat if you want to chat with us, ask us any questions. We're probably going to keep our filters on because it cracks us up.
I'm going to be Pumpkin.
A little bit about us. We're, like I said at the beginning of the chat, we're all improvisers in Austin, and we're just trying to keep the arts alive. So if you're, the arts are what, keeps us all sane during this time. So thank you for tuning in, everyone who tuned in. Feel free to subscribe if you want to throw some dollars our way. In general, most of us work through the Hideout Theater, so check out hideouttheater.com. We're doing classes, virtual classes there. We're doing all sorts of other virtual shows. I'm doing shows on this channel every Wednesday and Sunday at 6:30. Every time it's something completely different. So next week on Sunday, who knows what it'll be. I don't even know. I literally woke up in the morning and was like, I want to do a show with a trial with weird vegetables and other food products. So that's how these shows get conceived. They're literally just like whatever I wake up with that day, we fucking do it. So thank you guys for tuning in. How was it for you guys? Did you guys have fun?
I loved it.
I loved it. So much fun.
So fun.
At the last minute, my bacon broke, but I'm glad it did.
We just
My
rolled it
bacon
in
broke.
Improv. But yeah, I was so disappointed not to get to see that during the show.
Yeah.
We worked with it. That's what happens with improv, you guys. It's just like.
Well, he was the surprise witness. There's no way he could have been there.
Right.
Yeah. But he came for me.
I also left him jumping in his Ferrari and driving away. And then
That was great.
I feel legitimately sad for Miss Applebottom. I mean, Tubby Tomato is kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Maybe not a audience throwing kind of jerk, but
even though Tubby was technically acquitted, who here thinks that they were actually guilty of throwing themselves at a performer?
100%.
I think so. Thank you, Pumpkin Juice.
Yeah, I had your back.
I also think that they were guilty.
I definitely do. I definitely think that they were guilty. I was trying to keep with the whole like real courtroom theme of like beyond a reasonable doubt, and like half of your witnesses were blind or not there or so.
that's why I kept saying that there were many tomatoes there. It could have, I don't know which one it was.
Jimmy, that was probably one of my favorite lines, was you were just like, well, I just want to be clear. I didn't say it was this tomato. I said it was a tomato.
I know. I love how half of your witnesses like switch sides. Like,
I know.
screwed you over.
I loved how the judge was constantly like, it looked like you were just like daydreaming the whole time because you were like, just
Such a cookie.
So you know what I was thinking about? That like screensaver that like bounces into the corner.
Oh, like the winding.
Yes. Like ding, ding, ding.
I had a really good time being scared of Rick McRickle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Those eyes are so.
You're like, I can't.
I've totally
do it."
forgiven you.
And like Rick's just like, it's okay. Fine.
I also loved when Judge and I went and did these sidebars real quick.
Sidebar,
Real funny,
zoomed in.
real
So
fun.
clever.
Just,
That was very cool.
I'm scared. Rick McRickle.
It's a lot of fun to play with these things.
So
So-
much fun. Until this morning, or whenever you asked me this afternoon, I didn't know this was a thing.
It's super fun.
Is it new?
Yeah, I think it's made by the people who do Snapchat, but they did this desktop app. I think it's new. I just heard about it the other day.
I wonder if like
Gonna show
this is
that.
their genius way of dealing with people video conferencing more.
Yeah.
It works.
I
way more
definitely would like to start using this for my one-on-ones at work.
I also loved, so Allie was both Pumpkin Bean Juice and Tubby Tomato. And I think both those characters worked really well with your big like lipstick lips.
Oh my God,
I
yes.
thought Tubby Tomato looked especially luscious with those lips. Like those lips fit Tubby Tomato really well.
Yeah.
Can you switch
And-
back to that for a second so we can see it?
Yeah, where are you, Tubbs?
Pumpkin bean
Yes.
juice.
You
I
seem
mean,
a lot
look
more
at those
outspoken
lips on
in
the
it.
tomato. They look like tomatoes themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look
The
like a
lipstick
Pixar
helped for
tomato.
sure.
Totally.
That's good. You just got to cover up just a little bit above your
Oh
mouth.
my God,
Oh
that's
my God, your eyes are in
Or like something off of Sausage Party, but like the vegetable version.
Yes, So Crash said they also loved how the judge kept floating around all over the
Yeah, a floating like cookie.
Yeah, So Crash, that's exactly. So Crash said, did you see the meme of the boss who accidentally turned themselves into a potato during an online meeting and couldn't figure out how to turn it off? Actually, this filter that I'm
I
using
love
right now
that.
that they were, and that's how I found out about this app and decided to
Nice.
use, and that was the inspiration for this show.
Funny.
'Cause I thought that
Well, I
was
could
so
see
hilarious.
how, because if you have this downloaded and then you start Zoom, it just automatically is like, oh, should we launch this too?
Yeah.
So I could totally see how you would accidentally do that.
I love the idea of the boss being a potato the whole meeting and having to try to have people take them
God.
seriously when they're talking like I am right now and be like, listen, the quarterly reports are due this Thursday and they better be good.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, okay. Definitely. Thank you, sir.
Jason, that was also amazing when you would just be like,
I love playing and I just love audience member do like little like it's just so fun. It's in my wheelhouse of humor of like, oh, I love
Pretty good.
when that stuff happens.
Yeah, I love that shit too. I like it when things like I love that just trying to put these characters in like real life situations and what they would do. And I love that the crime was so weird. Like he threw himself at the performers because he was a tomato.
It was such a ridiculous premise, but that made it so much more fun.
I loved it. Yeah.
And I loved when we found out that Muffin Top had no ears and you had to admit to that.
But he could hear all of us. I don't...
Like any of us have ears.
An
How does that
ableist
even make
ears.
sense? That how are they answering our questions?
Right.
Like somehow
The vibrations of
I was like,
within
should
all
I
the
ask that?
foods.
The vibrations,
I
yeah.
wish you would. Let's have that line of questioning right now. Judge.
No. Miss Tap, I'm curious to know, if you have no ears, how are you able to hear me?
Well, I don't have the outer ear, but I have the what's it called? The doctor told me about it. Oh no, I messed it up.
Oh, can
I
we
don't
all
have
do?
any hands. I'm not supposed to have any hands either.
Oh, yeah, speaking of which, what happened earlier when your nose suddenly appeared, Allie? Like I had never seen a nose in that thing.
Oh yeah, it was my nose instead of my mouth, and I don't know. It just randomly did that, and I was like, go back. I need my
God, I
very
did
mouth like
that.
It was weird. Can we do the like where the humans coming and just? And then, like,
Oh yeah. Are they gone yet?
Are they gone?
Whoa, the bacon just shoots in. Hold on. Oh wait, when I do this. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, just disappears.
Ooh.
And Penelope Applebottom, when they were like so sad about being dumped, that was
I know.
Poor Penelope.
dumped by a text. So rude.
No.
All right. Well, I think we're going to call it a night. Thanks for watching, y'all. Tune in on Sunday at 6:30. We'll do something wildly different, which I don't even know what it's going to be yet.
Yeah.
Thanks to all our performers and have a great night to all of our audience members. I'm waving at you guys like you can see that.
I can't
but I have
see,
no
but we're
arm.
waving.
Wave with our
Wave
tongues.
my head.
Bye.
Bye everyone. Good to see you. Good to hear you. Be safe.
Ending. That's